There is a pink elephant in this room, and nobody ever talks about it. It's been here ever since I came on day one to Toastmasters. Every time I walk in, it's here. People use it. Women are better at it than men. And it's all around us, all the last four speeches. There were inferences about it, but nobody takes it head on. So the purpose of my speech today is to take it head on and explain and expose this pink element. Madam Toastmaster, ladies and gentlemen, I won't walk on
Yeah,
this.
watch out there. Okay.
Women have it and men don't. Why? It's built into their genes. They're practiced at it. When they have babies, they are active listeners. That's what I'm talking about. An active listener gets right to the core of the conversation. I'll explain that. Women have it, men don't. Women have it because when they have their baby, they can talk with that baby on day one. Some say day minus 30. They can see the expressions, the innuendos, the heat of the body, the flailing of the arms. They know what that baby is telling them. Active listening. Women are great at it. Some don't know that, but they practiced it. It's built into their over millions of years. After all, I mean, we have 2 ears, 1 mouth. That should tell you something. We learn to listen first before we even learn to articulate something. Men don't have it. They're always told, don't cry in public. Don't show your emotion. Go in the corner, don't talk when the crowd is around, when the parents, grown-ups are around. Silence is golden. Well, we found out later, we learned about all this. Silence is not always golden, sometimes it's yellow. So hearing is important. Active listening is even more important. In high school, my high school sweetheart would come up to me and flutter her little eyes and say, ask any question. Ray, how was your day? One question. I would just open up in her embrace. She was practicing active listening on me, and I did not know it. She didn't know it either, probably, but she had it in her. Just like we have it all in it. All of us have it in us. Some of us use it, some of us don't. I've watched all of you Toastmasters. You use it. I think Toastmaster, in a way, teaches you how to use it serendipitously in some of these assignments, but nobody addresses it head on. Nobody talks about active listening. Well, during my midlife crisis period, I was stationed in England, right outside of Oxford, and a very famous author and lecturer was coming to town. I signed up for the seminar. I wanted to know what he had to say. Leo Buscaglia, most famous lecturer, author, much like Tony Robbins is today, Leo Buscaglia wrote this book. You can see the title of it. He's the only one that has authority to use that title.
What is the title?
Love.
Just Love, okay.
They call him Dr. Love, Leo Buscaglia. He's an amazing guy. So I went to the lecture, went to the weekend. On Saturday, he talked about love. On Sunday, I was privileged to be in a small group with him, and we had our own discussion. And you know what he taught me? Active listening. He said, Ray, all you do is you listen for the content of what a person is saying, but you also watch the emotion, the behavior, the hand and arm movement. You observe the whole self, and you respond accordingly. And at that point in time, you, the listener, have more control of the conversation than the speaker. I had to wrap my arms around that one too. I didn't understand all of that. He said, yeah, as soon as they emit what they're saying, you receive that message. You receive the whole message. And now it's up to you in those macro milliseconds to decide how to respond. How you respond is the direction that the conversation will go. Magic. Well, he said, try it. I said, I did. And you know what? It turned my life around. From that point on, after having read this book, which he published in '72, at the end of the '70s is when the seminar, I learned from him and I practiced it. Now you can use it, practice it with your friends, with your family, with your subordinates, with your boss. Kind of works well that way too. It's an amazing concept. Wouldn't it be wonderful if we could teach elementary kids this in classroom? And they would be all on the same sheet of music, benevolent, caring, loving people. A whole generation would be affected. It might even stop some of the bullying on the playground. It might stop some of the gang rapes. Active listening. So if you take away anything from this speech, remember one thing, and that is the most important gift we can give anyone is to listen. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for listening.